Good Saturday morning, folks. Hope you all had a wonderful Friday night, and I hope you maybe got more out of that big to-do that was going on last night that concerned Candace than what I did. I didn't really get much out of it. Um, didn't really find out anything that we didn't already know. But with that being said, this is not about summer. Uh, guys, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And please watch until the end, because you're either going to love me or you're going to hate me by the end of this video. And, we all hope that you love me and subscribe and stick around, but if you don't, I understand too. Now, I was at a friend's house the other day, and I want to get y'all's opinion about this. I was at a friend's house the other day, and they have several children. One was about maybe three or four, I think. And this person was on the phone with I think it was medical, might have been a lawyer, I'm not sure. But it was a very important phone call. And this little kid, there's a little girl, ran into the house. They'd been out in the yard playing. Ran into the house and started screaming and screaming and screaming, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, mommy," and screaming to the top of their lungs. And the mom got so agitated and so upset. And instead of correcting the child and making them stop, or even telling the child to hush or shut up or whatever, she terminated the phone call. And this was an important phone call. But instead of correcting the child, or at least doing something to get the child's attention and making them stop, she stopped the phone call. And like I said, it was with a doctor or a lawyer or somebody. I'm not sure. I just got there and they were already on the phone, so I'm not sure who it was. But my point being, and I know, because of everything that's been going on here lately, this is why I'm asking your opinion. What would you all do in that situation? With a child that comes in, they're screaming and yelling, won't stop screaming, "Mommy," and you're on an important phone call, or you're in the middle of an important conversation with someone. As a parent, are you going to stop your child, or are you going to cave to your child and stop the conversation you're having with the other person? Now, stick with me, guys. I've got a point here. I promise I do. Now, as many of you know, as my viewers and my subs, I have 4 children. I had 4 children in 4 years. So they were stair steps, literally. Between the oldest and the youngest, there is literally 4 years, 4 years, 1 month. So when it comes to having a bunch of screaming kids around, trust me, I know what it's like. And then as they got a little older, I wound up marrying another man who also had the exact same number of children, the same sex, same ages, everything as my children. So then I had 8. And trust me, kids can get on your nerves to the nth degree. Now, I applaud anybody who has the patience of Job when it comes to raising children. I'm not one of those people. Although you all know I'm honest. I'm honest to a fault. I have no lies to tell to nobody. Everybody that watches my channel and that I talk to on a daily basis, and not most, but a bunch of my mods and stuff I do talk to on a daily basis, they can tell you my main concern in this whole entire world, the world would not be the world if it were not for our children. Children are the number one thing in my life. I, they are a gift from God, without a doubt, and they are to be treated as such. But I was also raised by my mother, and I was raised by King James Version, Holy Bible, and it plainly says, spare the rod, spoil the child. And yes, I know there's many different, not variations, I can't think of the correct word for it. But what it means to me might not be the same thing it means to you, that saying. But I will tell you, had one of my children came in screaming and throwing a fit, and I was on a very important phone call or having a very important conversation with someone, and they came in acting like that, I would have done one of a few things. You try one, that doesn't work, then you take it to the next level. I would have gotten their attention. I would have asked the person on the phone to hold on 1 second. I would have muted the phone if I could have. If I couldn't have, oh well. I would have gotten that child's attention. Secondly, if that didn't work, then I would have put the phone down. I would have took the child to the bedroom or somewhere, and I would have spanked the child if I could not have calmed it down. Now, some of you might think that would have been abuse, but it's not. That's taking your hand and putting it to the bottom. But getting back to getting its attention, there's a lot of people out there, and like I said, I was going to get to the point. There's a lot of people out there that is having a conniption fit about what was said on a certain channel about Brandi Neal. Now, even before whoever it is that's having their say about what was said on that channel, I was already having a problem because everybody's having a fit about Brandi Neal saying what she said to that 2-year-old. Brandi is a parent who has raised 4 children. Yes, she's got one missing. She's upset. Her nerves are at wit's end. She don't know if she's ever going to see her child again. She don't know if her husband, boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, may or may not be going to jail for this. I mean, she's still got 3 other children that she has to take care of. On top of that, one of them happens to be a teenager, which is another level of HE double hockey sticks in itself right there. One's a preteen, which is unbelievable in itself right there. And one is a 2-year-old. And we all know they are referred to as terrible twos. Now, you put yourself in that woman's position. Now, you might say, oh, I would never. I wouldn't. I call bull on every person that says that. And if you honestly went through raising 4 children, you raised them, lost one of them, or they got kidnapped, or whatever may have happened, and you go through everything this woman is going through right now, you put yourself in her shoes, and you tell me you've never raised your voice to one of your kids, or you tell me you've never, out of just anger, not because you wanted to hurt your child, but because you were on an important phone call and you were trying to get their attention so they would stop because you're trying to talk to someone. You have never said, if you don't shut up, I'm going to beat your butt. You don't shut up, I'm going to strangle the life out of you. If you don't shut up, you're going to be grounded for a week, or you don't get to go somewhere, or there's a lot of things that guys, if you don't get it, if you don't understand, It's a whole lot better to yell these things into thin air. Because, first off, do you really think that that 2-year-old understood what she was saying? She didn't understand what strangle meant. It's a whole lot better to say these things out loud in anger, to get them out, to get them out of your system, than to actually turn around and punish your child or touch your child in anger. Now, everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon that she said this to this 2-year-old. Did you wait 5 seconds on that phone call to hear her also talk sweet to that baby right after that? Did anybody bother to listen to that part? Does anybody bother to care that she was just, can you imagine what this woman is going through? Come on, folks. Think about it. And then you have a 2-year-old comes in and they're screaming and screaming and screaming and screaming. It gets on your nerves and you just want it to stop for 5 seconds. Just hush. It's not that you actually mean you would hurt your child. No, it may not be the mentally healthiest thing that you can do. But I guarantee you one thing, I would much rather tell my child what she said to her child than to turn around and do what most of these parents out here are doing to their children, which is turn around and just knocking them into next week. Which would you prefer? Would you prefer her to say that so that it gets the anger out in the air away from her? It gets the bad energy away from her and away from her child? Or would you rather keep it bottled up along with everything else that she's dealing with and then just turn around and knock them into next week? Get real, people. You cannot tell me. If you sit and tell me that you have never said anything like that to your child, you have never showed any anger towards your child in a heated moment, in a stressful moment, I call bullcrap. And if you have, then you've got a prescription from a doctor that you are overdoing. There's no possible way you could be sitting in her shoes going through what she's going through right now and not ever have a heated moment when you're speaking to one of your children, and I don't care the age. If the child is old enough to walk in a room and scream and yell and cry at you because they're not getting their way, then you have gotten angry at your child. Now, y'all can dislike me if you want to over my opinion about this. I've raised 8 children. Okay? I have helped raise 6 of my grandchildren. And we're talking from infancy, from birth. And because our family did not approve of other people babysitting outside the family, you know what? To keep our children safe, that's why we didn't allow babysitters and daycares and all that. I helped with my grandchildren. And my 6 grandchildren are all within 4 years of each other. And yes, I kept them all 6 at one time. And all my children and all my grandchildren are healthy and safe and loved and know that there's nobody. My grandchildren would know their parents, but my children and my grandchildren know that nobody loves them more than I do, except the good Lord above. Not once have they ever been beaten, abused, hurt, harmed in any kind of way. But I can tell you right now, because I'm the honest kind of person here, there's been plenty of times I've yelled something like that at my kids, but I'd much rather yell it at my kids and get their attention so they'll stop doing what they're doing because I'm trying to do something else or I'm stressed than to turn around and actually touch one of those children in anger. Now, I don't know what you might do. You might still stand on your pedestal. If that's where you want to stand, go for it. But I know there's plenty of people out there that have been giving Don B crap for the past 2 days. No matter what he says, y'all are jumping his case over how he's trying to explain something. I've seen the comments, and I call bull on them. You know, it's wrong, because you know darn well you yourself would do the same exact thing. Even if you don't want to admit it to us, at least admit it to yourself. Pray for all the kids that need the prayers, because I guarantee you they need them more than what we'll ever know. Tell your own kids you love them, give them a hug, and if your parents are still with us, please call your parents today. Tell them you love them, spend 5 minutes and talk to them, and then I'll see you on the next video, guys.